All right, well, welcome everybody to the first BIO, Brand Influencer Orientation. It's going to be an incredible thing. It's kind of weird not to have our FlexCast on Saturday morning, but it's good to have this incredible option. Corey, welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
All right, well, so let me just lay out the plan here for today. Today, we are going to talk about how to go build this business. Usually we talk about Ruby. But now we're going in and we're starting to move away from just talking about Ruby. We know Ruby's awesome. We know that it can do everything, but now it's about learning how to go build this business. And we're going to start to really focus in on those people who want to go and learn how to go and build. You know, if you want to make a couple $100s a month, it's a pretty simple process to do that there. But if you want to make the tens of thousands, $100,000 type of month, you have got to learn how to do the business. And so I'm excited about toward the end because we have Dan Putnam, who has built huge organizations. He's the owner of BEpic. He's the co-founder here. He's my partner. And there's going to be nobody better to teach you how to go build this comp plan than him. He wrote it. He's seen people go make millions of dollars in it. And he's going to be here to tell you exactly what to do to go do that. I'm going to start talking a little bit about how you go and build this business and how you get it going fast, because fast is fun, slow is painful, and we're going to do it fast. And I want everybody that's here today, I don't care if you've been here for a year and a half, today's your first day. And that's what the mentality has to be here for that we can get this thing going. And everyone has to understand that that's the process that we're talking about. I know that we now have a group of 50 people that I am mentoring and pushing through. We started that this week, and I see a lot of you are here. But we are going to start driving this fast. And to do that, we have to have a system. And we can't be holding on to everything. So we're going to go through this really quick so I can get as much time to Dan as he can possibly need. But we're going to start talking about starting right and starting now. And so I'm going to actually take this off of here so I can see the screen full screen. And let's just talk about what it is when you get started in this business. So you get enrolled and you're in this business and you all have sponsored somebody, so you understand what it's like to bring somebody in the business. But how do you get them to go quick? Like, how do you, in the first 48 hours, how are they becoming binary qualified? And let me tell you, the number one reason people don't get this happening with the new people they brought in is because they didn't do it themselves. And that's why I just told you, everybody, you're starting today. Today is your first day. And you need to go through this process, because when you go and do this, then it's an expectation that is already assumed when you bring somebody into the business. It's not like, oh, you can't do it. I couldn't do it. You probably can't do it. No, you can do it, and you need to do it, and you need to do it at whatever cost, because if you can't do this, it's a lot harder for you to get other people to follow in the footsteps. And so we're going to start today. That's going to be the first thing. So let's talk about what we do to get this first 48 hours happening. Number one, we have to understand network marketing. Network marketing is all hinged on the power of duplication. It doesn't matter which company it is, what products it is, it doesn't really matter. If you're wanting to build big business, I'm not talking about a couple $100s a month, because you can focus only on the product and you can get that done. But if you're wanting to make the big money, you want to build an organization of tens of thousands or thousands of people, it has to be built under the understanding that this is a people business, that we're talking about dealing with people, and we're not talking about the products all the time. Because if you understand that the product is great and you have the belief in the product, then you have to figure out, how do I move that product? And in this business, it's about people taking the product out. And so we have to have people. And so I'm not really good at focusing on a lot of things. So I focus on one thing at a time. And the one thing that I need to focus on if I'm going to go build a business, it's going to be the people. Because they're the ones that will actually go and bring it to other people, and they'll go bring customers in. And that's the way our comp plan is designed, is so that if you bring in somebody and they bring in customers, we can override. And so instead of you having to do all the work all the time, it's about putting a network together of people who are helping gather those customers and helping gather a few more reps that get more customers and duplicating that. It's just a cycle of events that happen over and over and over again, and you can't complicate it. That's one of the biggest problems, is that people complicate this thing. So I believe there's 4 steps that you do. Everybody has their own training system. I just tell you it's 4 steps, because 4 things that you should be doing if you're going to build this business. Now, we're going to get into those here in a second, but let's talk about what happens in your first 48 hours. How do you get going? This is what you should be doing today, tomorrow, and having it done by Monday. And that is that you need to go in and pretend like you just got enrolled and you're going through these steps. Number one, I need you to make a list. If you've been in for a year and a half, you can say, well, I've gone through my list. We'll put them back on your list. Put anybody who's not in the business back on the list. And it's time to go back after them, because one of the things that most people don't do is once they hear a no, they never go back to that person. So this is a great opportunity for you to go back to them. How many people know that we've had a lot of things change over the last 4 months on this business? And that's not just in the business that's changed, but Ruby's gotten incredibly bigger. It's gotten a lot more robust. And now you can go back to them and say, hey, you guys check this out. So they should be back on your list. So put them back on your list. And here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is make a list. Now, I know that we are able to do this on a piece of paper. That's fine. You want to do it in notes in your phone? Fine. Everybody's got the contacts in their phone. There's nothing hard here. And you know what? I think it's interesting that the people that I see that are slowing down on this are older people, people that are in my age group, right? People that are 35 plus are slow in this process. But if you go sponsor somebody who's 16 to 18 years old, they get 2 people within seconds. Why? Because they are just connected. They're connecting to people and they don't have a friend. Hey, dude, check this out. They don't go through all the process of explaining anything and everything and overcomplicating it. They just say, dude, check it out. Get in here. Do this with me. In a story. And you need to bring that same mentality in here. Don't overcomplicate things. So make a list, get that list of names going. Your name list is constant. So keep it on your notes so you can keep adding new names all the time, because, well, as long as there's names on that list, then you're in business to keep moving forward. The day that those names stop coming on that list, that's a day that you have to really start figuring out what you're going to do next in your business. We're going to go through that later as well. But today we're talking about how to get started. So get your list going. And your only goal is to go get 2 people, one brand influencer on your left and one brand influencer on your right. That is the only goal that you should be looking at when you first get in. I need 2 people, 2 brand influencers that are going to do this business with me, one left and one right. Now on Thursday, we got Chris Booth to come on and we talked a lot about the activity. We talked about how the excitement that he had, and it's like, how does he go out and do all this? How is he sponsoring people every single day? How is he going out and making appointments every day and getting this done? And he's bringing in businesses, but he's bringing in builders to go with him, not just customers, but builders. And how is he doing that? Well, number one, he's excited. If you're excited about something, you can literally, it doesn't matter what it is. Someone wants to be around you and wants to be part of it. So just get excited. I mean, if you don't realize what you have your hands on right now, then you haven't been paying too much attention to what's going on, because you have the most powerful AI application in the world sitting at your fingertips and nobody in the world really knows about it yet. And you get to be the first one to tell them. So instead of having to worry about a product that you get in a year from now when everyone's already heard of it, you get to be the first one that they say yes to. But that only occurs if you decide to take action today and be part of the activity to get that. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter when you get in this business. If you never talk, it doesn't really matter. So you got to talk and you need to get going. And your only goal is to get 2 people qualified for the binary. That qualifies you up to $20,000 a week, just completely on volumes that are starting to move through your organization. So that's all you have to do. The next thing that you need to do, and I'm telling you all of this in the cycle of you doing it, because this is exactly what you have to do with your people that you bring in. You're bringing in the 2 people before Sunday or before Monday's over, then I need you to make sure that they're going to follow this exact platform. Why? If you aren't able to teach this, it stops with you. And if you want to go do this again and again and again and just keep doing it and not seeing any kind of major growth pattern happening, then you can just keep doing it and keep it to yourself. But the ultimate goal here is for you to repeat the process and to teach it to the people that you come in, and stress the importance of doing this. And it all hinges on you. You start the process. So if you're excited about it, you're getting everybody in there, you got your 2 people in, and the first thing that you should be doing is saying, okay, man, take out your phone. I want to know, we got to do this in the first 48 hours. It's just super important. We're going to get you 2 people. We're going to get you a check coming right now. How do we do it? Get your phone out. Give me 20 people that you can call. And then I want you to call them and just tell them that you're in something that's amazing. It's $20 to $50 a month. It's the stupidest thing you've ever seen. And AI is incredible. You need to get on. Send them to myflexai.com if they need to see something more, and tell them to go and enroll. You send them the link. That's all you need to do. Don't try to complicate it. Don't try to get them into a demo. Don't try to doing that. These are people that you're talking to right now that you can have influence over. And that's who you want to start with. To get your first 2 people in the first 40 hours is people that you have influence with. In fact, when I get started in a business, I don't call people and say, hey, man, I'm in this thing. I want you. I just say, hey, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to this site, choose whichever one you want. I'm going to do the $50 one's the one I'm on. It's the one you need to be doing because you're going to love this thing. But I need you to go sign up. Call me when you're done. I tell them to get in. I don't ask them. I'm not asking them for their opinion because these are people I have influence with. I don't always do it, but I'm not going to sit there and try to beg them to do it. I'm just going to tell them to go do it. They don't. I'm moving on. Those are people I have influence with. Now, you have those people on your list because not every single person that you know has been in this business that you had an influence with. So you still have some of those people that you can call. And the better you are at being confident and excited in what you have your hands on, the more that it's going to be moving fast and there's going to be less resistance for you. You're not going to have to go through this process of explaining everything. When they call you, they say, what is it about? It's an incredible AI product that you have to have. It's going to save you a ton of time and money. Just get in. I'll explain it later. That's it. I'm not trying to explain it to them. I just want them in. Okay? Now, once you got your first 28 hours or your first 40 hours, you got your 2 people in, I need you to get them into one of these. This brand influencer orientation. We're going to get them started fast, and we're going to try to get them to understand that the reason why this has to happen in your business is it has amazing benefits, like huge benefits. Huge financial benefits, huge physical and mental benefits for you. So get in. And then you have to be really good at teaching this process. Now, you can do this. You can do anything in this business. You can go as big as you want. You can start making millions of dollars. I've seen it done. I mean, I sat there and worked side by side with Holton Bugs, where he made $1.5 million every single month for over 5 years. And did nothing but duplication. It was a simple system. That's all it was. But speed was a big part of everything that he did. Now, I also am going to tell you that when you are sponsoring somebody, you need to find out if they are really going to go and build this business or if they just want to be a customer. See, that to me, that's a validation that I ask at the very beginning because it's really hard to push a rope. And if they're just a customer who really don't want to do this, that's not your guy. Okay, that you're looking to move on to the next side of the next person because great, you can take them as a customer. We love customers. I love to have that is part of the plan. But right now, I'm looking to influence which people are going to build a business with me. I'm not looking for somebody that's I have to go do it for them or I'm trying to convince them. And the only way you're going to find those people is when you're excited about it and they believe that you have your hand on something special. So get up your excitement, get that moving. Okay, now let's talk about once you've got your people going and the activities that you're going to do. There are only 4 places that you can put activity into this industry where it's going to pay you money. Now, if you're in here just to be a social worker, you can do whatever you want. And actually, you can do whatever you want anyway. It's your business. I'm just going to tell you what builds businesses. And that is, if you're not doing activity that's in the invite, expose, validate, and enrolling, if you're not doing things in those 4 areas of business, you're wasting your time or you're becoming a social worker and you're just charity. If that's what you want to do, that's why you're in the business, that's great. Just don't expect the outcome of financial gain. Because it doesn't pay you to be the social worker. If you're in it to make money, then we have to sit down and talk about what activities make me money. And that's one of these 4 areas. I'm either inviting people, I'm exposing, I'm validating, and I'm enrolling. If I'm not doing that, I'm just wasting my time. So let's break down each one of them real quick. Inviting, what does that look like? Well, there's a lot of ways of doing invites. Okay, that it could be a personal invitation. You could go out and do your social media. I like the fact that, when we start to talk about this industry is, it really hasn't changed the process. It's just that we have new tools that can add more people into the mix, right? So social media outreach, that's going out and pushing stuff onto your platforms like Facebook and Instagram that get you potential leads and people that you can talk to. You can host events. And this is the one thing I think is missing in the digital market world. And it's only in this app world that you see this happen, because it didn't happen in energy. It didn't happen when I'm selling other services. It didn't happen in travel. We always had events. And there's a personal touch when you're building this business. If you want to go and see what Chris is doing and why Chris is putting people in every day, because he sets an appointment and he goes to them and he does a quick little demonstration, but then he's telling them about the business. And while he's there talking about this business, he's finding out that person. He gave you these tips on Thursday. If you haven't seen it, go back to the FLEX-RUBI on Thursday, because he's talking about asking the right questions and finding out how you can plant in their mind how they're going to go make money with this opportunity. When you are talking to your first two people that you're sponsoring, that's what you're doing. How you get them to go and get into the business and get going. The whole time I'm signing up somebody, I'm sitting there asking them, man, what have you been up to? Man, I've been working a ton. I know, man, it's like crazy. I wish you could find that passive. Well, I got your passive income. I'm going to show you how to do that here. Let's get you signed up. And now I'm going to say, go get your two people, and we're going to show you how this can work. I'm going to be looking at every opportunity to tell him, this is how you do it. I'm also thinking about names. Like if I'm meeting with a person and I know him, I already know some of his friends. I already know people that we can go talk to. I'm telling him already. I'm already planting where he's going to go. In the example that was with Chris Booth on Thursday, it was about him talking to a person he hadn't really known, but she coaches other business owners and she helps franchises and she does some stuff like that. And so he's been planting when he's sitting there talking to her about, hey, your other people that you know all need this product and you can make money doing it. So why would she not do it? It costs nothing to get in the business and it costs nothing to share it. That was already planted in her when she was in the process of looking at the product. So she immediately is starting to think about the business. And you need to be doing that when you're setting your people up, because that's the process that you're already making them think, oh, okay, I have people. Oh, yeah, I know I can do this. Oh, yeah, you're right. I can talk to them. Oh, you're going to help me do this? You're going to talk to them with me? All of those things are reasons why people will get in and they'll get moving quick. Now, you can also do referrals. If you're asking for people and they're saying no or whatever, you're getting referrals. You're saying, hey, can you give me? You can go on and ask for referrals online. You can find people that you can talk to. And then you can obviously do it by content sharing, going out onto your blogs and doing all your videos and all the things that you do in the new world of recruiting. Okay, so that's the first step, is inviting. You notice that there's an invitation, and there's not an invitation that is also talking about exposing at the exact same time. There are two steps here. There's an invitation, and then there's the expose. And the expose can happen in a lot of different ways. And why don't you do you don't do these in the same steps at the same time? Because you don't know where that person is. I want to sit down and I want to have that person's undivided attention. I don't want it distracted. I don't want kids screaming in the background. I don't want them, hurrying over because they have to get to dinner or they have an appointment. I want them to give it to me, their attention, so I can explain it to them and they can get in. That's why I love lunches. I love sitting down with coffee. I like to do these in person. That's me personally. But we do a million of them around the world, all online. But it's still an appointment. Set up a Zoom. Make them come in there, sit down. You can do a quick Zoom with them, and you can walk them right through to get enrolled. Now, let's talk about the expose. There's lots of ways to do it. You can do product demos. We love that. I mean, that's what Chris does. That's what I do. That's what Heidi does. A lot of people go in and do that. They do a demo. But I will tell you, the people who are really good at figuring this out can read the person, and then when they find out what the hot point is, like what's really happening. I did one with Dan the other day, It was a while ago actually, but the guy was excited and he wanted his goal. Like he literally had a goal to be in a Ferrari on the beach in Italy. And while we're sitting there talking about it, I'm in the process of Mid-Journey building that image for him so he can sit there and have it. And then we send it to him at the end. If that doesn't get someone going, okay, I can do this. I can see that, oh my gosh, this is crazy. You can do all these things while you're doing the product demos. But once you find out what ticks, go there. Now, the other thing that people do when they do product demos that make huge mistakes that you should avoid is to overdo it. Because once they actually click and they love something and they're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, just stop. You might have 17 other things that you would love to show them, but just stop. They're in. Just say, oh, great, let's get you signed up. And then you can go and you can play with this and you can find out all the other things this can do. If you're a little that, just wait till you get into all of it. Let's get you signed up. You don't have to go through an hour-long demo to get to that point. When they're ready, you're ready. Now, another way to do that is to do these informational presentations, which I think are really good. You can do these online or you can do these in person, but you can do AI trainings. Bring people in, advertise, do free AI trainings and bring them in, and then use Ruby as your tool. And of course, if they want to learn how to do all that, where are they going to go to get it? You pitch it at the very end to go get Ruby right here. This is what we're going to do to teach you today. If you want to get it before we go, then here, you can go get this at this link. That's one way to also get people in. Success stories, testimonials, guys, you have to lean on on other people if you don't have your own. But every single person should have their own testimony on Ruby. What is it doing for you? What's it doing for the people that you brought in? Bring those stories on because they're going to relate to them. I also like to do one-on-one meetings. You know that's kind of my thing. I also like to host events. And I think that you see this happen when you get into the markets that you can start doing one-on-ones with and you can grow in a marketplace. And I'll just use the example of what I did with Prove It, because I think Prove It was a perfect example of what happens when you can start in a market and stay in a market. Like I don't have to go across the world. I can literally go into Tulsa and I can stay in a little place of 350,000 people, and I can build a huge organization. Just to give you an idea, in Montevideo, in the 918 area code, there were over 50,000 distributors. 50,000 distributors in the 918 area code. You don't have to be all around the world. So if it starts right here at home and you know some people at home, then do that. But let me just tell you how it works for me at Prove It, because it's a way that can work for everybody if you just kind of have the same mentality and you're willing to leave behind the computer screen to go out and do something. And it was like this for me. My first month, we didn't even have product. We had 3 people in my business. I went to 3 people. I got them in because I didn't ask them. I told them, this is what I'm doing. I need to get in. Now, we didn't know how to build this thing. We didn't know anything about it. I didn't even know what Prove It was. I had never tried the product yet. I just got 3 people in because this is what I was going to do. I love the idea of being in this new idea of keto. And this product had great testimonials. The next month, that was in March. In April, we got the 3 people together. We started to kind of put our things, our ideas together. And the only thing I did that whole month is I did one meeting where each of those people that I put in brought 2 or 3 people. That was it. We did a lunch. They all brought people at Panera Bread. And I literally put in 6 more people that month. We had 9 total. And then we took those people and we did the exact same thing that I'm telling you to do right now. And by the end of the 3rd month, we had over 4,500 people in about 7 different countries in this business. And by the next month, I had over 10,000. So how does this work? It's because you build on the compounding of people. Just like if interest or penny a day, it's the people. And Dan's going to give you a lot on this because this is the way he teaches it great on this compounding thing. But that's how fast your businesses can go, because you start seeing this doubling. When you have 9 people who all go get 2, and then you have 36 getting 2, and then you've got 72 getting 2. And it's just this compounding effort that goes crazy. And sometimes you just find one person that goes and puts 100 in. It's just the way it works. And so when you get this process going and you're in this invite and expose, the next step you have to do is you have to go to validate. What does validate mean? I'm talking about validating the business or validating the product. That's all I need. Because sometimes they don't want to get in until they actually have a little bit more validation, and sometimes it can't come from you. So you want to invite them to see it. You want to expose it and show it to them. And then you want to validate it. And that's where you can do other people's stories. You can do third-party calls. You can do, like I love doing third-party calls. I love to help people and go, man, this is great. Mike Mursky is great at using that. He used it the other day. I will tell you, do yourself a favor and don't just hot drop somebody. All right, that's not the way you build this. You don't just call them and then say, hey man, here you go, talk to this guy. When you do that with me, I don't take your call again for a while. Okay, that's not the right way. That's number one, it's rude. It's not good for the person that you're dropping it on. So be respectful. Just say, hey, I don't know. Maybe text them, say, hey, I've got somebody on that's like, can you talk to them for a second? That would be a better way to do it than to just hot drop them. But you want to do third-party calls. We want to do online, validations too. Put them into the Flex connection. Let them see what people are doing. Let them see what's happening. Let them hear from people. They can ask questions. We have an incredible community of 1,000 people sitting in there that would be more than happy to help close for you. Success stories. That's also online. Go find those reviews of Ruby. Go find people talking about what this is doing for them. It's all over the internet. Go find those for you. And then you can also bring them to another meeting with your sponsor or to someone else so that they can hear it from somebody else. Maybe you don't feel comfortable pitching it to them. I can tell you right now, as long as I've been in this business, if I was going to try to sponsor somebody that was like my best friend, a family member, I'm not going to do it. I'm not talking to them. That's the last person they would want to hear from about something right now. They would rather hear it from somebody else. And so what I would do is I'd ask them to get to a meeting, get on this call, and then I would shut up and let somebody else do it. And I would just do the follow-up because I'm just too close to them. If I can't tell them to get in and I'm close to them, I'm going to let somebody else do it. Okay. Now, let's talk about enrolling. It's the last step. If you're not doing these things with your time, if you're doing other things like going out and trying to create a bunch of online marketing or prompts and building music and all this stuff to give out, then you're focusing on the product and you're not focusing on the people. Yes, those other things will help. They're tools. They'll help you kind of go out and do things. But if you're doing all that, you're not doing these things that make you money. No one's paying you at this moment. Well, they're not paying everybody. I know there's some people out there who actually have great stuff on Spotify and Apple Music that have come from Ruby Music. So I guess there are people who are getting paid for creating stuff. But in reality is you're not probably getting paid to go make a piece of music right there or to go and do a bunch of research on what marketing is all about, or let me go figure out how I can go and talk about AI. I don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be an expert. All you need to be able to do is to walk them through it, show them a little bit about how it can be done, and then show them how it fits into their life, and you're done. So how do you enroll them? Well, number one, I don't wait. I don't send somebody off. It's like, okay, great, we'll come back. Let me hear. Guys, we were talking about $20 to $50. If I'm sitting down with somebody and they don't want to do this, they're still going to sign up as a customer because they'll do it for $20 for me because I just sat down with them. All right? There's no way anyone gets away from me from not signing up for $20, but I'm pushing 50. If I'm going to a business or I'm looking at somebody who's going to really use it, I'm selling them 100 all day long, which I hope that's out, Monday. So we have incredible ways to do this. Now, the other thing is you don't sign people up yourself. I have heard so many people going, okay, hey, get me your information and I'll do it for you. If you do that, you're killing yourself. You're killing your business because now they don't know how to sign somebody up besides they just send them to you. That's not the way you do it. You send them to a replicated website that they can click on the button and they can go. It's like that easy. Just hit join and it'll walk you right through the process. Don't do it for them. So let's talk about duplication real quick. And then I'm going to turn it over to Dan because he's going to have some time to talk about the plan. And he also has ways of kind of explaining to you how like the lifestyle bonus works. That also is a building block that you can go out and do. But if you're not getting people started in the first 48 hours, and you're not getting them through this, process to getting into the BIO so that they know what steps to do, and you're letting them just kind of get in the business and then decide. They are deciding how they go build this. How do you expect them to be successful? If they aren't a successful MLM builder, how do you expect them to go be successful? Because they've never done it before. I mean, I'll give you the first 6 months of my life in MLM. I was the marketing genius. I had an ad agency. I didn't need to listen to all your stupid one-on-ones. I'm going to go into big market. I'm taking out billboards. We're doing some radio ads. I got some TV ads I can drop in. I'm going that direction. 6 months, nothing. Nothing. Humbling yourself, going back to your upline, going, dude, how are you making $50,000 a week? Like, I don't get it. Like, how are you doing this? It's dumb. It's like, doesn't make sense to me. And you know what they told me? I just told you. Invite, expose, validate, enroll. Don't do anything else. Just get good at this. And the better you get at this, the more results you're going to have. And the better results you have, the more people can see and follow you that are going to build on top of that. It's just a compounding factor. And it's also about compounding you as a leader so you understand how to help other people become leaders. All of this is part of this amazing business that happens naturally as you progress. And so this is the process that we all need to go through to get really big, thousands and thousands and thousands of distributors in an organization. If you're trying to do everything yourself and you're trying to be everything to everyone, this will not work to build thousands and thousands of people. It will not work. What it will do is it will get you maybe some quick success and you think it's going great, but how do you handle 100 people calling you every week? If you're just managing people because you're just trying to do all their stuff for them and you're not growing your business anymore, you did it wrong. You built it wrong. And it's a really long process. And pretty soon you can't get to everybody. And then you become the failure to everyone that you promised that you were going to be able to help. You've let them down. And they don't know how to do anything because you've done it all for them. The goal for duplication is for you to replace yourself. The last thing you want to be is the guy. You don't want to be the guy. You want to be the system. You want to be, this is what we do, this is how we do it. And if you need help, I'll teach you that, but I'm going to do it with you. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm going to help you get going. And all these excuses, by the way, you hear excuses from everything from, well, I don't know how to do it. I've never done it. You'll hear excuses about, well, it's a long ways. I don't really understand Zoom. I don't really know that stuff. My phone's old, or I don't have a computer. None of that matters. That tells me when I hear that, next. If I'm looking to build a big business, that's next for me. Because I can't possibly help you if you're not willing to learn to do something on your own. If you're not willing to help and you're not being, enough interested and willing to change to do something the way that the system requires, then I can't really help you go over the edge. I can't get you over the edge. And I can't stop doing everything I need to do for my business, my goals, because I have to stop and do them for you. Now, last thing I want to talk about before I hand it to Dan is I want to talk about the mindset that someone needs to have when they come in and they're wanting to build a business. And this is for every one of you that are on this call right now, because this is a true mindset that you're going to have. And that is, like, if you're an entrepreneur already and you have another business, you know that business over there is just like a baby. It's just like having a child. And you have to care for it. You have to nurture it. You're having to build, you're putting your sweat and blood and tears into that thing, because that's what that is like for you in your world. And when you are starting this business, it needs to be that serious. if you really want the big outcome. Again, if you're wanting a couple $100 a month, that's not that hard. You can go do that only focusing on the products and probably just sharing it, and you don't have to have any structure to do anything. But if you're wanting to build a big business, you have to have the mentality this is another child, that I'm willing to do whatever it is. And that requires you to put goals, that requires you to set activity goals and outcome goals, both. And you need to have some accountability and this word that everyone hates called discipline. It's the number one reason people fail. Discipline. And if you don't have discipline, that's why you get into groups that have accountability. Nobody can make you have it. But I will tell you this, if you have a purpose that's bigger than anything else that you can have, like if you can find a purpose for doing this business that is big enough that motivates you to say that the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change, that's when you change. This is where that is. You find the purpose to say, this is going to give me what I need, and I'm going to be willing to put in the activities and the hours for this. And you need to understand that at the beginning of any compounding business, I don't care if you're starting saving, $10 a week, you don't have a lot of money at the end of a month. You don't have a lot of money at the end of 3 months. But at the end of 10 years, you have a lot of money. And it's compounding. It's a vision of down the road, not here today. Something really hard to get through to some people. I know my kids have a hard time understanding that. So you have to show it to them. You have to sit them down and explain it so that they can understand that, by the time they're 16 today, by the time they're 22 or 23 years old, they never have to do anything else that they don't want to do because they have a passive income, and they can go and do whatever they want to do, and they can help whoever they want to help, and they can be whatever they want to be, not because they have to be to make money. That's what I wish someone would have told me when I was 23, 24 years old. So that's the mentality that you need to bring in here. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to bring in Dan right now. So Dan, I'm super excited about having you do the comp plan. And, for most of us, let me get you on this. Okay, we're all there. Okay. Oh, all three of us. Wow. Hey, Corey, will you do something, Corey? Will you go into the StreamYard giveaway? I want to do some giveaways real quick after Dan's done. So we'll give some credits away at the end. If you go into the hashtag and put do hashtag BIO inside of the comments, we'll pull 4 people at the very end to do some credits. But I'm excited, Dan, to hear what you have to say. I mean, I've heard it a couple times, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard it all the time. But for the 2 times I have heard it, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, it's starting to make sense to me how this plan works. And so I want you guys just to open your eyes and ears here and take some notes, because he's going to walk you through how this thing works. And he's going to tell you the numbers that he's seen it work. I mean, this isn't like projection. This is coming from facts. He's seen this plan do it. So Dan, I'm just going to turn it over to you and take it away.
Awesome, Robert. I appreciate it. Before I do, I want to take just maybe 1 or 2 minutes and give just a little bit of information for any of those that are new to the AI space or wondering, is this really as big as Robert's saying it is, or Dan says it can be? These are just some information that I came across in the last couple of weeks that really opened up my mind and really excited me. One, maybe you have all seen it, but the current valuation of OpenAI is $100 billion. OpenAI started in 2015, but didn't really get into the space as we know them with ChatGPT until November of 2022. So between November of 2022 and today, their valuation is over $100 billion. Before ChatGPT, they didn't really even have a valuation. So again, $100 billion in 2 years. And just to kind of show you what's happening in the AI space, I'm going to read several names here of companies that have started in 2024 or did funding in 2024 and have raised over $100 million just in 2024. So in January, Core.ai raised $150 million. In February, Magic, $117 million. LambDA, $320 million. Reckitt, I'm not sure exactly how to say that, $102 million. Abridge, $150 million. Figure, $675 million. Glean, $203 million. In March, Zephyr AI, $111 million. Together AI, $106 million. Fungard, $100 million. Celestial AI, $175 million. April, Sierra, $300 million. Zara Therapeutics, $1 billion. Cognition, $175 million. Augment, $227 million. Blaze, $106 million. Now we get into May. CoreWeave, $1.1 billion. Weka, $140 million. Suno, $125 million. Scale AI, $1 billion. XAI, a lot of people know that's Elon Musk company, $6 billion raised. AlphaSynth, $650 million. Acasa, $120 million. Evolutionary Scale, $142 million. Edge.ai, $120 million. Bright Machines, $106 million. Skilled AI, $300 million. Hebia, $130 million. And the list goes on and on. That's only through July. So again, that's most of them. That's almost 30 companies that have raised hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in the AI space just in 2024. And every single one of them, I don't think any of them have put everything together that we have under one roof like Ruby AI. I mean, the sky is absolutely the limit here. So what I want to do is go over exactly how you get paid. So I'm going to do this fairly quick because I don't want anybody to kind of get stuck in all of these numbers. The only thing that you have to realize and the only thing you have to really understand in this entire compensation plan is, first off, we want to show every single person how to qualify for unlimited weekly income. That happens by becoming binary qualified, as Robert talked about, one left with an active order, one right with an active order. As soon as you do that, you're qualified for literally unlimited income. If I can duplicate that one time, all I want to do is I want to get binary qualified myself. And then the next step, I want to help those two become binary qualified. That two-step plan is the only thing you need to understand in the compensation plan, because the first thing that that's going to do, it's going to get you in profit. So now you're not paying anything for your Ruby membership. So here's a big thing. All of those companies that I just mentioned that have raised hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, they're in business for profit. They're in business so that you pay them or advertisers pay them or somebody pays them for them to make money. Here's a big difference with Ruby AI. Ruby is designed 100% for us to pay you. Obviously, you pay for your membership, but it doesn't work that that's the end goal. The end goal isn't just for you to pay for your membership month after month after month after month. The goal is for you to get into profit and to make money marketing this amazing service to people all over the world. So that is a massive difference than all these, $100 million, billion AI companies that are designed just to take your money. We're designed to give money to you. If you've been in this company for any more than 1 month and you're not getting paid to use Ruby, then you need to focus on what Robert talked about. You need to get back to day one. So I'm going to go through starting with the most basic way that we get paid. And I'm just going to base everything on 40 CV. That would be the $50 package. If you just want to do the quick math in your head, if it's a $25 package, just cut it in half. That's 20 CV. So we're going to be talking about 40 CV. So on that 40 CV, if I bring in a customer and the CV happens to be 40, I'm going to make $10 every single time that they order. The next thing that's going to happen is 30 CV is going to go into the 2-team plan, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. So that's the total payout on how customers work. Every single time they order, if it's 40 CV, I make 25% of that. I'm going to make $10. And then 75% of that CV which in this case would be 30, is going to go into the two-team plan. So that's basic. That's the first way. Hopefully everybody understands how to get paid on customers. The second thing, fast start bonus. This is on the first order of any influencer. So again, we're just talking about the $50 pack. It would be cut in half as a $25 pack, and a little bit more than that if it's a $15 pack. But here's what you're looking at. 50%, or excuse me, 40%, 50% is paid out, but 40% is paid directly to the sponsor. And then because we're geared up to have a strong power line system, we have 10% that goes to the placement. So how this would work on that 40 CV, you're going to make 40% or $16, and then 10% or $4 is going to be paid to the person that they're placed under. This is for the future when we roll out the Flex power line, that we can send out that you have a check waiting for all of the pre-enrollees. So every pre-enrollee that has anybody upgrade underneath them, they're going to earn a check. So basically every single person in the company, whether they enroll anybody or not, as long as they have one active, is going to earn a check in the Ruby business. And sometimes just getting that first check, people see that it's real. They have that basic understanding. So again, on the first order, you're going to make 40% of the CV. 10% of that CV is going to be paid to the placement, whoever they're placed under. And then you're still going to have 20% go on the two-team plan. So that 20% would be $8 of the 40 CV. So if you break that down, somebody joins, it's 40 CV, their sponsor makes 16, then you go to the placement makes 4, and then you go to 8, which is going to pay somewhere between 80 cents and $1.60 to whatever pay leg they're on in the two-team plan. So that's the payout of that 40 CV. Then we go into the two-team pay. This is basically the lifeblood of the residual income. And in order to qualify to earn commissions on that, 3 things have to happen. First, you need to be active yourself. Second, you need 1 active left and 1 active right. That's basically going to qualify you for $20,000 per week just in the two-team plan. So everything works together. You can make unlimited on customers. You can make unlimited on that first order bonus. You can make $20,000 per week on the two-team. Now, the reason it limits it to $20,000 per week is simply because there's no limit on the levels that you can get paid. So I also want to be very clear on a two-team plan. Most of the time, people explain a pay leg and a power leg, a larger leg and a lesser leg. In all two-team plans that I've ever seen in the industry, you're actually paid on both legs. But for explanation, a lot of times they talk about a pay leg and a power leg. So let me explain how that works. And I'll explain it both ways. Whichever one makes the most sense to you is fine. So you're not paid on people in the plan. You're not paid on levels in the plan. You're simply paid on volume. Now, as a brand new influencer with 1 left and 1 right, you're going to start out at making 8% of the volume on your lesser team, or 4% of the matched volume of both teams. And this is to infinity. So again, a lot of times people think, oh, well, 8% on my pay leg or 4% on the matched volume. It's not a lot. But if you look at most unilevel plans in the industry, they pay between 3 and 10% per level and rarely go past 7 levels. So 3 to 10% and rarely go past 7 levels. So here, if you're looking at getting paid on both teams, 4% of the balanced volume, and I'll explain that, or 8% of the pay leg, it's exactly the same, just 2 different ways to explain it. I personally like the 4% of the balanced volume because that's actually how the compensation plan pays. So let's just take as an example, and let's say one team is doing 1,000 in volume, another team is doing 500 in volume. That matched volume of 500 and 1,000 would be 500. So in that case, I'm going to get paid 4% on the 500 on my left, 4% on the 500 on my right. And if you just want to break down what that is, it's $20 on my left, $20 on my right, or a total of $40. Or I can look at it as the 500 on my left, and that's my pay leg. The 1,000 on my right is my power leg. I get paid 8% of the pay leg. That's again, 8% of 500 is $40. Now what happens is that 500 that I wasn't paid on the power leg doesn't disappear. It carries over to the next week. And this happens week after week after week. As you move up in the pay plan to silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and above, the pay also goes up. It goes up to 20% of what you can earn on the two-team pay. But everybody starts off with the two-team pay as soon as you have one left and one right, the ability to make $20,000 per week. And again, this is not paid on people. This is not paid on levels. This is simply paid on volume. However it comes in, there's three basic ways that volume can come in: through the people you sponsor, through downline duplication, which is the people they sponsor, and also upline spillover, because every person only has two legs, one left and one right. As soon as those positions are filled, everybody has to go under one of those two positions, and the volume counts exactly the same, whether you sponsored them, it was downline spillover, or somebody in the downline sponsored them. That's the three ways that we create volume. And just remember, one left, one right, you make between 8% and 20% of the pay leg, or 4 to 10% of the matched volume on both legs. That's a two-team pay. The lifestyle bonus, that this is really the main thing, the only thing that I ever personally explain. I explain two things. I explain what you need to do to qualify for weekly income. Because if you're not qualified for weekly income, the compensation plan does not matter, because you're not qualified for it. So until you have one left and one right, none of this matters. Once you have one left and one right, now you're qualified for $20,000 per week in that two-team pay, and you've done the first step of the first lifestyle bonus. Now the lifestyle bonus here is based, we actually have two of them. So we have one on the $25 pack that is only one bonus, the two who get two, and then we have 4 different bonuses on the $50 pack. We're just going to talk about the 50 just for time's sake on this short presentation. So on the $50, I get two who get two. It's a $50 bonus. That's two who get two on the $50 pack. So 3 qualifiers. 1, I'm on the $50 pack. 2, I have one left and one right on the $50 pack. And 3, they each have one left and one right on the $50 pack. That's a total of 6 people plus me, $50 bonus, in addition to the rest of my commissions. We each add one more, 3 who get 3. And again, this has nothing to do with the binary. It doesn't matter what side they're on, nothing. You can sponsor 100 people. If I sponsor 100 people and 2 of those 100 have 2 people with 50, then I'm good to go. That's what qualifies for the bonus. I add another 3 who get 3. It's a $150 bonus. 4 who get 4 is a $250 bonus. And 5 who get 5 is a $350 bonus, in addition to the rest of your plan. So if you just focus on duplicating even the 2 who get 2, I'll do a quick example of how that works at the end of this compensation plan presentation. But after the lifestyle bonus, we have matching bonuses. Starting with the very first person you enroll, you make a 20% match of anything they make in the two-team plan. That's very basic. It's very simple. If they make $10, you make $2. If they make $100, you make $20. If they make $1,000, you make $200. Every single person you personally enroll, doesn't matter what team they're on, has nothing to do with your two-team pay. You just match up to 20% of their two-team pay. Then starting at the level of silver, you start qualifying for generation matching bonuses. Actually, starting at the rank of gold, you start qualifying for up to 4 generations of match. Again, generations, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but generations are not even similar to levels. Every single generation goes to infinity. So I make 10% on everybody that I enroll, everybody they enroll, everybody they enroll, everybody they enroll, everybody they enroll. Whatever they make on the two-team plan, I make that to infinity, or until it reaches another gold or higher. When it reaches another gold or higher, that does not stop my pay. That just ends my first generation and starts my second, which also pays to infinity. Or until it hits another gold or higher. That does not end my pay. That just ends my second generation, starts my third. That goes down another generation, your fourth. And it would literally be the fifth gold or higher down one sponsor tree leg that would end that generation pay just for that one leg. All the other legs, you're still getting paid to infinity. This, again, is a minimum of 4 golds, not just a minimum of 4 people, a minimum of 4 golds or higher, but it could literally, each generation can be hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people. And these two, the matching bonuses on our largest earners are the biggest part of the compensation plan by far. And companies like Robert mentioned Monavie, the top income earners in Monavie, we're making somewhere 6, 7, 800,000 per month. Their binary maxed out at 10,000 per week. So the most that they could possibly make in the binary is 40,000. So somebody in that company that was making, let's say, 700,000, 660,000 of that 700,000 was coming from the matches. That's how powerful the matching bonuses are. The reason why it pays so deep and it's paying on their entire organization. So next we have the 2% global bonus pool for shared just with diamonds. This typically ends up being somewhere between $200 and $400 extra per week. So somewhere between $800 and $1,600 per month extra in addition to the rest of your compensation. And then we have the one-time rank advance bonuses. This is paid for maintaining rank, starting at diamond. We've paid many of these bonuses. We've paid every one of these bonuses out many different times, and they range from 10,000 all the way up to 150,000 one-time bonus. As Robert was mentioning, this plan is not a brand new plan. We are literally 2 months away, a little more than 2 months away from our 8th year in business. We've done almost 600 million in sales. We've paid out hundreds and hundreds of millions in commissions. We've had over 4 people make over 5 people. I keep saying 4 because I've been used to it, but this last year in between February of 2023 and February of 2024, one of the people who joined in February made over $1 million their very first year. First year, starting from zero. If you make $1 million, that's over $83,333 per month. So you have to average that every single month for a year to make $1 million. We've now had 5 people make over $1 million their very first year. We've had 4 people go from 0 to 100,000 a month in 5 months, and we've had 1 go from 0 to 100,000 a month in 4 months. What Robert was saying is very true. You want to get this business growing fast. All that happens when you go slow is people start majoring in the minors. They start nitpicking every little thing. When I have people that are nitpicking and calling on every little problem, I know that's somebody who's not building the business as fast as they need to succeed, because they're focused on every little thing that's wrong, and they're not focused on the simplicity of getting 2 who get 2, getting your business in profit so that you're getting paid. There is 0 reasons in the world that you're in the hottest market ever in the world as we know it. There's never been anything. There is not a nutritional product on the planet that compares to AI. There is not any other industry on the planet that compares with AI. NVIDIA went from, people knowing what it was to the largest company in the world in 2024 for the one reason, AI. Now they dropped from number 1 to number 3. A lot of people saw probably on the news that they lost like almost $300 billion in stock price in one day, 300 billion in a day. But look, the number 2 is Apple. Apple is focusing solely on almost everything they're doing is AI. Number 3 is Microsoft, also focusing AI. Then you get into companies like Tesla and stuff like that, focusing AI. Rates $6 billion this year for XAI. I mean, come on. If that's not a clue that you're in the biggest thing, and again, I love nutrition. I love the travel space. I love these other things. But when you're looking at the largest companies in the entire world, they're not nutrition companies. They're not pharmaceutical companies. They're companies that are focusing on AI. This is everywhere in the world. Nothing compares. And then when you can get started for $15 to $50, I mean, come on. And when we already work in a plan that's paid out hundreds of millions of dollars, still people making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month going to the distributors all over the world. And then you have a product without borders. You have the ability that now, like I speak English, I speak a fair amount of Spanish, and that's it. But now I can market in every language fluently, every language. Every single person should have a faceless AI or a faceless social media campaign going. Every single person. I saw something that really made me think the other day, and it said, if lottery tickets were free, how many would you take? If lottery tickets were free, how many would you take? Obviously unlimited. And then they compared the same thing as posting on social media to that lottery ticket, because one post can completely change your life. I don't have the time to go over it right now, but I pulled up 50 different, and this was in one Google search, 50 different faceless pages that are making between $100,000 and $1 million per year in income. How easy is it to copy each and every one of those? And then how easy is it to put them in 4 or 5 different languages? So I can find a niche, whether it's astrology, or whether it's motivation, or whether it's weight loss, or whether it's do-it-yourself projects, or all of these different things. You can find amazing faceless social media pages on all of them. I could find one that I like, put it out there on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, focus on YouTube Shorts. And then I could take that same exact thing in literally maybe 5 minutes extra per post and put it in different languages and do completely different pages in those different languages. So as I could go out there, finding every single person and just message them, let me show you how to use AI to make tens of thousands of dollars extra per year, or hundreds of thousands, whatever you want to put. People have done it all the way up to millions, just launching faceless social media pages. If you would like information on how to do that, get back to me. You can also go to every single network marketer in the world. Let me show you how to be a top recruiter in your company using AI. You can, so many areas. There's billions of people on all these social media campaigns. You can contact all of them for free. And every single one of them that are in marketing, or every single one of them that have every single person literally that has social media should have a way to profit from it. Why not? It takes such a little amount of time. We're talking, maybe 30 minutes per day. And it's just, again, why do people buy lottery tickets week after week after week, month after month, year after year? I bet you could find some people, maybe you know some people, maybe you are one of those people that have bought lottery tickets consistently for decades and never won. The chances here are so much better because most people have almost no follow through. You find something that is already proven. You post 2-3 times per day, which will take you maybe 30 to 40 minutes a day for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And you're doing stuff that not even 1% of the world ever do. And then when you start to look at the people that do it, how many of them are successful? You can't look at how many people are successful at any item because nobody really participates. You can't look at how many people are successful at network marketing and make a decision because most of the people that join network marketing do absolutely nothing. There's no way they could possibly be successful. Look at the people that make 3 contacts a day for 3 years. Look at that percentage of people that are successful. Now you're going to start seeing 90% success, 95% success, 100% success. Look at the people on social media that are posting 2, 3, 4 times for 3, 5, 7, 8 years. And then you're going to see 80% success, 90% success, 100% success. Look at the people that post 1 or 2 times a week sporadically, and then you're going to see 99% failure, 100% failure. And so often we make our judgments based, oh, I heard that, most people don't succeed in network marketing. But you're looking at the wrong thing. Most people that actually market, most people that actually launch, most people that actually treat it as a business has almost 100% success rate. There is not an easier business in the planet if you actually do anything, period. Now, we have the model, we have the technology to expose more people with great information than has ever been on the planet. And building a business is really almost nothing more than exposure. So when we can go in and put out, hey, find out how to make thousands or tens of thousands of dollars with faceless social media pages using AI. If I send out 200 or 300 of those messages a month, you don't think I'm going to get at least one person? And I could find out how to lose 20 pounds using AI. Find out how to do this using AI. Find out how to add muscle using AI. Find out how to, anything on the planet, find out how to do it using AI. Get that in front of 300-400 people a month. And you're going to tell me you can't find one person? Here's why I say one. Getting one person a month duplicated, by the end of your first year, you're making over $50,000 a month based on the $50 product. By the end of your 2 year, you're making over $1 million a month. In 2 years, one person a month on $50, you're going from 0 to $1 million a month. 2.5 years, you got over 10 million people in your downline. By your third year, you have 640 million in your downline. Before you hit 4 years, you'd have every single person in the planet in your downline. One person per month. How do you not get one person per month? Let me tell you, you don't get one person per month because you don't expose anybody. Expose 200 or 300 people a month. Don't get one person and give me a call. I'm not saying that it's impossible to expose 200 or 300 people and not sign somebody up. But here's what I will guarantee you. If you do that, I have something to troubleshoot, and I can tell you exactly the things that you need to change in order to get at least one sign up per month. You never need more than one sign up per month to make unlimited income in this business. You never need more than one sign up per month to become a literal millionaire within 2 years. You never need more than one per month. How don't you get one per month in this industry? I don't want to keep going because I already went over my time. Robert, I'll go ahead and give it to you to do some giveaways. But again, hopefully you understand this is the space to be in. I don't think you can go find any other industry that you find 30 companies that have raised between 100 million and there's like 4 or 5 of those that have raised over $1 billion. They've raised that this year.
That's crazy. It's really crazy.
$100 billion evaluation for OpenAI. 100 billion.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for jumping in here today. I know everyone loves it in the chat. They are excited about having you here today. It's always a pleasure. And to hear it from somebody who's seen this comp plan grow and generate, it's not a thought or a concept, it's a fact. And we just got to do the work. So